Hey Julius, our new kid on the block is here.
How is it going?
I'm good. So how are you? First session?
First session, pretty excited for that.
So we're talking about Booster, right? That's the name of your track?
Yeah, well, it was just like an idea that dropped into my head, and I still thinking about changing like the song title after I found like probably a good vocal for it with some good topic. But yeah, at the moment it's called Booster.
Yeah, we can still discuss this, of course, totally flexible and open. It's all up to you. But I would say let's show the viewers what we are actually talking about. And maybe you can open up your door, share your screen, and then, yeah, just play it.
Sorry for being a mess. I gave my best, but was it late? But was it late? Yeah. We talk about this, can't forget. I'm seeing you in everywhere, in everywhere. Every time we have all day, I put my realistic. I know that you like it, baby boy, and I miss that. Can't be like we used to, like we used to. Can't be like we used to, like we used to. Every time we have all day, I put my realistic. I know that you like it, baby boy, and I miss that. Can't be like we used to, like we used to. Can't be like we used to, like we used to.
So from there on, it would just like repeat itself. I just did some tiny adjustments, but yeah, this is like for first thing, the track idea.
Really cool. I mean, we discussed it in the team meeting already. And I love the groove. I love the piano, the Rhodes, or whatever it is, and how you go from the breakdown section where you already have this groove included into the drop, and then the drop sounds with the glitches and the stuff are very interesting, very cool. So yeah, it's a pretty cool track. The vocal is not yours, right? You got that from some.
I got that from Splice.
It's a Splice vocal.
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
Splice vocal.
Okay. So first question: what is your biggest challenge on the track, and what do you want to achieve with that track? And or a couple of questions: any references you want to follow with that track?
Well, as I mentioned, like also in the team call, there's like this guy who's called JLV, and he's like having a super chill and dope sound, and like my goal is like to get in this direction of like having a groovy track which gets a little bit of energy, but is like not a big club banger. I'm still thinking about like, yeah, getting maybe getting a good vocal for this, or a nice top melody on top of the chords, because like I think there could be some more there could be a little bit more in the track, but I don't want it also to overload it. And yeah, I think there's quite some stuff I can work on to like make it more warm and like also a little bit more crispy. So these are the things I'm working on, and maybe do also some more stuff with the percussion. But yeah, so that's the things I would like to focus on.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think this is all stuff we can definitely work on the next couple of weeks, mixing and sound design anyway. And then, as you said, like spicing it up a little bit, making it a little bit more punchy without making it too crazy, too much of a club. Then we can check for the references, and if there's something you like specifically. And of course, one of the main points is the vocal. So we should get a new vocal on that. That would be the plan, right?
Yeah.
And okay, next question. Do you have anyone in mind or shall we take care of that? Because that's why we're here for as well. We could help you with that and reaching
Like,
out.
I think you are the guys with the better connections than I, and so I don't have someone specific in common right now. But like, if you know someone who could like fit to the track, like, because I think the vocal is also like pretty important for a track, and if it's too rough or too roasty, it doesn't fit very good, or if it's too high and too sharp. So yeah, that would be also a cool thing you could help me a lot with.
Okay, cool.
Then, do you have like anything like I always love to have like second or third opinions about like music and tracks, and like I know every opinion goes in different directions, but is there like anything you said, there you could like focus on and maybe do this changing or something like that, because like that would also help a lot, like having feedback and stuff like
Yeah. Can you do me a favor? Play just the first part until the drop.
Sorry for being a mess. I gave my best, but was it late? But was it late? We talk about this, can't forget. I'm seeing you in everywhere.
What I think, it kind of sounds very classic now, to not to say old school, with the Rhodes and the bass and everything, which is cool. And maybe we could spice it up a little more if you, for example, on the bass notes, every note you add a sound, which is more like in the sound like bow, bow, like an attacky bass sound. Could be, if you remember back in the days, Robert Miles' Children, the organ, which was played only on the first beat of about bum, 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 something like that. Or you can refer to Medusa, with their bass sounds.
Yeah, like this plucky. This could be interesting. Okay.
I didn't want to say Medusa because it's too obvious, but something in that kind of like ballpark, which gives this whole part more of a room, a space, an atmosphere. I was thinking also of some more sweeps, like really low volume sweeps of, like, again, it's all about adding a little bit of vibe and atmosphere and room to the whole thing. Could be long noise sweeps, up and downs, or reverse them whenever you have a good one. And it's really just low in the background. That's what I was thinking of.
Okay, just let me give a look at this. I do have like already like prepared some presets for that, because I don't like to mess around and like find always the same sounds again over and over. So that's why I always save like my most favorite.
Yeah, makes it more effective, right?
Yes. Okay, let's probably look at it now. This is too deep. It's like I do every like chord progression normally by playing or just trusting my ears, because
It's good.
I always trust my ears and they never disappointed so far.
Yeah, not bad.
Let me just give a listen. I also saved myself for this one and bus just for this. So here we go. I also always put them. So there is this plug delay, and there is the plug reverb. So there should be way more energy right now. There we go.
Yeah. I was actually thinking only about the low notes, but as you're adding the high ones, it sounds actually not bad at all.
Not that bad, right?
And everywhere. Every time we have all day, I put my
And like from this part, I would just like, because like there's this cutoff, so everything is just getting
I like that. I like these
down again.
total drops. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you give more room to the vocal at that point, and then
Yeah.
really focus on it.
That's true. I think I could also like I don't know if with which range piano is playing. In the low. Like I think if I mixing wise reduce like the from the E piano.
Yeah, I would cut the lower end in the roads a bit. If you use that bass sound, you should give the space to the bass. The space
Yeah,
to the bass.
totally. I'm still not quite happy with.
I also had another thought about having a high string in there, like one sustained note,
That would be also a good idea, yeah.
which actually could fade in and build up more suspension and tension throughout the whole breakdown. And you either stop it then where everything stops, or you bring it back in then. Just
So just like one note, which is, I think we could add this like right here.
yeah.
We talk about this, can't forget. I'm saying
And would you put on their sidechain or not? Because like the kick is already working, or do you think it's like then too bumpy?
I wouldn't make it too pumping. That's a little bit too old school then, I guess. I would keep this more on top. It can float a little bit with a super subtle pumping sidechain, but really I would make it not too obvious, because you have the pumping stuff in the low end, and then you have the string kind of holds it a little bit. It is, if it goes like this as well, then you have everything is pumping, and then it sounds like he just threw a compressor on top of the master and or a sidechain plugin. But if you keep the strings more subtle in the background and then but straight throughout with the energy.
That's a pretty good idea.
we talk about
Do you think it's too much, or is it okay?
Yeah, I would say for right now, I think it's a little bit too much. Yeah, but you can also automate it. You start with no side chaining, no ratio, then you automate it so it goes up a little bit more.
That would be that. I never did that before actually, but it's a good idea. I just have to write down all this. This is like you're like way more in the game than me, so. I
I'm
think
the automation guy.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get lost in my automations, and then
I love automations, as you can see, but
yeah, that's good. It looks good.
this is also what I really like about like this vocal style, when you just have a listen to the delay on this one.
I gave my best, but was delayed.
So I just automated it because like sometimes when you put your delay on it, you can put like a compressor on it so that it just opens when the vocal is finished. But the problem is if you have like multiple different layers of vocals, it's not working anymore. Or when you're using the delay for also other instruments, it's not. So that's why I started automating these ones.
Okay, cool.
So sweeps, you said, and is there? I wasn't sure if it's nice to have a break in between, like the last bar of this, to make it like silent, and then starting. You mean like a break in between, just before this one here starts.
Every time we have all day, I put my
So like the track goes, and then it just stops here. With everything, you have the break, and then the vocal starts to introduce the next part.
I like that. I really like that kind of stuff. And that's how I do a lot of my breaks as well. I really introduce the energy a little bit and then I go to like a point where everything stops. This gives the vocal the total focus, you know,
Yeah.
because you take away everything else and then you build it up again. And also it's a nice way of building the energy throughout the track to keep it interesting. Because this is an interesting moment. If you just keep it going, then you have to either like have the vocal really working on the energy, so you lift it up, or you have to introduce more and more instruments. But to me, it definitely works like that. We could see how it works with another vocal once we get. I would, for now, keep it as it is.
All right, keeping on with this part here. I think I'm pretty happy with this right now at the moment, but maybe.
All day I put my realistic. I know how you like it, baby boy, and I miss that. Can't be like we used to, like we used to. Can't be like we used to, like we used to. Every time we have all day I put my realistic. I know how you like it, baby boy, and I miss that. Can't be like we used to, like we used to. Can't be like we used to, like we used to.
In this section, I was wondering, like, there we have the sub bass, which is just like going through with the notes, and I don't know if it's getting too too hectic if I make the bass in the same MIDI structure as the E piano that is like you know, like, because at the moment it's just. Gives like the whole track a more chilled atmosphere. Yeah. But would you make it like chopped up or leave it like this?
It's a good question. I like it as it is right now, the sustained bass, and it leads up into the drop, and then the new surprise is that this bass opens up into a groove bass, you know, a groovy bass.
Yeah.
And what I would do personally, I would keep this in the first breakdown and then try out the second breakdown with the groovy bass already. So first of all, you have a difference between breakdown 1 or build up 1 and 2, and then you have an increase of energy throughout the track, because the first breakdown doesn't have to be super energetic if you lead into that drop anyway. So you could use this as a variation for the second and try how it feels. And if at the end you or we feel that, hey, this is the way the second breakdown works way better than the first one, then we just put that in the first one too. So and adjust it. So that's my strategy, having both in the track, and then you see, once you have the full arrangement, you see how everything works in context with the energy and with the flow and with the vocal, and then you can rearrange parts which you think work better than the other. Program it and do the arrangement for the second build up with the groovy bass, and then let's see how we feel about it.
Good thing. I also did like add in the second part, which I just like copied, a real bass. I'm not quite sure if it's working with the rest of the track. I think slowing it a little bit too much down, right?
No, I think it needs to be quantized and cut.
Yeah.
You have to maybe you have to sample it and then flex it, and then it should be working. And maybe always a good thing is if you put a little ride on top, so that gives a little bit more of the groove. You know, that kind of like indicates what is the beat and takes away the focus too much of from the attack of the bass. But you can still use it. But they have to, the ride and the kick and the bass have to be absolutely on point. Otherwise, it looks kind of like out of place then. Like these light, long rides.
Yeah.
Sweeps, yeah. Hey, Julius, danke, bis bald, ne? Ciao.